Hello and welcome back to Grim and Whim. Today we will be looking at 4 stories about creepy encounters that really proves that going outside is becoming more and more unappealing by the day. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the first story. Our first story is titled, "A Man Was Arrested for Stalking My Family, and His Reason for It Surprised Even the Cops." This happened in the winter when I was 10 years old. I was walking to the bus stop by myself, and out of nowhere this red car drove past by me and it stopped. I walked by it and a man yelled, "Hey kid!" I turned and saw this guy in his early 20s. He motioned for me to come over, but I stood still. He then said, "I saw you coming out of 355 Terrace Road. Was that man your dad?" I had no idea how this person knew where I lived, and I got so creeped out that I ran. I glanced back and was surprised to see that he wasn't following me. That night I was finishing up some homework where I had to track the phases of the moon. I went to my window and was shocked to see that same red car parked across the street. I quickly ran to my parents sobbing, and I explained everything to them. I didn't say anything earlier in fear of getting trouble. My dad called the cops and they arrested the man on the spot. My parents went outside to see what the hell was going on, and the dumbstruck cop explained the bizarre story the man had told them. The guy was a rookie PI that was hired by a wife who suspected her husband was having an affair when he visited the city we lived in. The husband gave his wife our address and told her that he was staying with a friend. When the police showed my parents the picture of the husband, they both laughed. The man didn't even remotely look like my dad. The only thing that they had in common was their dark hair and light skin. The PI was sobbing in the cop car, and my dad didn't press charges because he felt bad. The next story is entitled, "The Man in My Attic." So I, 24 male, have lived on my own for about 2 years now. I have a very small bungalow that I'm able to pretty comfortably afford. In this bungalow, I have an attic area that I'd say is about 5 by 5 meters in size, and you can only really stand in there in the very center. Anyways, I work the night shift at a factory. I basically just sit on my phone all night. So I usually get in around 8 a.m. I was coming home last Thursday during a heavy storm, and I got into the house and just went to sleep. When I woke up, I went on my phone and I saw that I was so tired that I didn't check my notifications. I have a Ring camera outside my door, which shows me anyone who would have come to my room. I saw that it had been tripped at 7:42 a.m. I got into the house at around 8:10 to 8:15 a.m. I checked the video and saw that it was a man. He was pressed right up into the door and was fumbling around with the handle. He did this for about 10 seconds until he spotted the camera. Once he did, he very quickly scuttled away. This unsettled me, but didn't entirely creep me out or anything. I got up to go make some food and discovered something in my kitchen. My back window was open. I, of course, instantly began having the thoughts of a home intruder, but slowly chilled out as I convinced myself I had left it open. The rest of the day consisted of this, just noticing small things that didn't seem right and scaring myself. All up until a point, I leave for the shift at 10 p.m. and I was watching some TV at 9 o'clock-ish. I spotted something that made my heart leap into my throat. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see it. My attic entrance was slowly being slid open. I can so vividly remember that I began questioning my sanity. Surely I was just hallucinating or something. I looked over at it and absolutely saw something that made me so much more scared. I saw fingers wrap around the hatch and begin moving it more. I didn't know what to do. I could feel the panic beginning to really get to me, and I wasn't sure if I should leave the house or call the police, or if I should try and yell at whoever was up there. I chose a mixture of both. I began dialing 999 and ran to my bedroom where I could lock the door. As soon as I began running, I heard the hatch get almost teared off with the speed they moved it, and I arrived at my bedroom door. I looked down the corridor and watched for a second, seeing only a little slice of the blackness up in my attic, and I saw the human hands still holding onto the sides of the ceiling. I yelled, "Whoever is there, I am calling the police, and I have a gun." I do not own a gun. "If you take a step out of there, I will shoot you." The adrenaline was really making my hands and my voice shake, but I tried sounding as tough as I could. Then I saw something that I truly do not think I will ever forget. The hand slipped back into the dark, and then he dropped down. I slammed my door shut, and I locked it as quickly as I could. The call went through, and I was able to get on a line with the police, and they dispatched officers to my house. I told them that I didn't know if this man was armed or not, and the dispatcher told me to stay on the line. I heard the man walking up to my door and rattling the door handle. He also seemingly went through my cupboards and my kitchen, as I heard a lot of commotion in there. Truth be told, I don't know why he stayed. I would have just left the house, but he stayed right up until the police came, and they arrested him. Apparently, he was a homeless man, and he was armed with a knife from my kitchen and had recently been seen in the area trying to get into some other houses. Truth be told, I'm very frightened to sleep still. I now sleep with my bedroom door locked and all my windows closed. I also sleep with a knife under my pillow. I know that this is unlikely to ever happen again, but I cannot forget the way he dropped down from my attic. Our next story is titled, Parents, if a child tells you someone is off, believe them. It could save your life. When I was around 6 or 7 years old, my brother had a friend from school come over for dinner, along with his mother and her boyfriend. I don't remember much about the boyfriend except for I didn't really like him. He wanted to play airplane with me, where the adult lays on their back with their feet in the air, and the kid lays on their feet and they act like they're flying. He did it in front of everyone. He never tried to get me alone, but I didn't like it. I told my parents that I didn't really like him, and if I recall correctly, I believe they didn't really care for him either. Needless to say, he never came to our house again. Not long after that, my brother's friend's mom went missing and was later found dead. Turns out, he killed her. I have never gotten over it, and the fact that even as a young child, something about this man rubbed me the wrong way. It still freaks me out to this day. Listen to your gut. There's a reason you get that feeling about a person or a place. Our final story is called My Best Friend and I Saw a Human Figure Shapeshift into a Black Cat. I'm wondering if anyone out there has had a similar experience to me, because I will be wondering what the F we saw till my last day on this mysterious planet. There is no room for maybe the lights were playing tricks on you, or you were just tripping. We were sober. Her headlights were shining right on this thing. The chills I got were awful because I don't get the sense that we were supposed to see whatever it was. It's also maddening because she refuses to talk about it ever since it happened because it scared her so much, and I think she's trying, or wants to try, to forget it. Anyways, stay spooky, gang. Thanks for reading. And down below, someone in the comments said, leave some cat food out for the man cat. And yeah, try that. See how that goes. Hopefully it won't, go after you or anything. Maybe it'll be nice to you because you gave it food. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this style of video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And you can also catch the podcast version of Grim and Whim on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You just type in Grim and Whim, just like it's laid out here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me. It's goodbye for now, but I hope to haunt you again soon.